The CRM React application is a structured project built using React, a popular JavaScript library for building user interfaces. The project follows a standard directory structure and includes various files and components that work together to create a functional CRM application. Below is a detailed description of the code, structure, and everything in the project. Project structure. The project is organized into several directories and files, each serving a specific purpose. The root directory contains configuration files like package.json, packagelock.json, and .gitignore, which manage dependencies, lock files, and gitignore rules, respectively. The public directory holds static assets such as the HTML entry point, index.html, favicon, and manifest files. The src directory contains the main source code, including components, styles, and the entry point for the application. Entry point, public/index.html. The index.html file is the HTML entry point for the application. It includes the basic HTML structure with a div element having an ID of root, where the React application will be mounted. This file also includes meta tags for charset, viewport settings, and a link to the favicon. The title of the application is set to CRM app. React bootstrapping, src/index.js. The index.js file is responsible for bootstrapping the React application. It imports the necessary modules, including React, React-DOM, the main app component, and the CSS file. The React-DOM.createRoot method is used to create a root and render the app component inside the div with the ID of root. The application is wrapped in React.strict mode to highlight potential problems in the application. Main application component, src/app.js. The app.js file defines the main component of the application. It manages the state for contacts, mode, list, create, or edit, and the selected contact for editing. The component includes functions for adding, updating, deleting, and handling the editing and creation of contacts. The app component renders different views based on the mode, using the contact list and contact form components. Contact list component, src/components/contactlist.js. The contact list component is responsible for displaying a list of contacts in a table format. It receives contacts, onEdit, and onDelete as props. The component renders a table with columns for name, email, phone, and actions. Each contact has buttons for editing and deleting. If there are no contacts, a message indicating that no contacts are available is displayed. Contact form component, src/components/contactform.js. The contact form component provides a form for adding a new contact or editing an existing one. It receives initial data, onSave, and onCancel as props. The component manages the state for the contact being edited or created. The form includes fields for name, email, and phone, along with buttons for saving and canceling the operation. The component handles changes to the form fields and SU. Styling, src/app.css. The app.css file contains the basic styling for the application. It defines styles for the container, header, buttons, and table elements. The styles ensure that the application has a consistent and visually appealing design. The container is centered with a width of 80%, the header has a background color and text alignment, and the buttons and table have specific padding and margin settings. Additional components and files. The src directory includes additional components and files that are part of the application. The app.test.js file contains tests for the app component, ensuring that the component behaves as expected. The report webvitals.js file is used to measure and report web vitals, which are metrics that quantify the user experience. The setuptest.js file sets up the testing environment for the application. Static assets, public directory. The public directory contains static assets that are used in the application. The favicon.ico file is the favicon for the application, which is displayed in the Browser tab. The logo192.png and logo512.png files are logo images used in the application. The manifest.json file is the web app manifest, which provides metadata about the application and is used for progressive web app (PWA) functionality. The robots.txt file is used to instruct web robots on how to crawl and index the application. Package management, package.json. The package.json file is the manifest file for the application. It includes metadata about the application, such as the name, version, and description. The file also lists the dependencies and scripts required to run the application. The dependencies include React, React.elm, and other libraries used in the application. The scripts include commands for starting, building, testing, and ejecting the application. Dependency management, packagelock.json. The packagelock.json file is automatically generated based on the package.json file. It ensures that the installed dependencies are consistent across different environments. The file locks the versions of the dependencies, ensuring that the same versions are installed every time the application is set up. Git configuration. .gitignore. The .gitignore file specifies which files and directories should be ignored by Git. This file is used to prevent sensitive or unnecessary files from being included in the version control system. The .gitignore file typically includes patterns for ignoring node modules, build directories, and other temporary files. README file, readme.md. The readme.md file provides documentation for the application. It includes information about the application, how to set it up, and how to use it. The README file is an essential part of the project, as it serves as a guide for developers and users who interact with the application. It typically includes sections for installation, usage, and contribution guidelines. In summary, the CRM React application is a well-structured project.